Trevor Bauer stands as arguably the most polarizing and chaotic figure in the entire history of modern baseball. Watch him blow a 94-mile-per-hour fastball past the batter, escaping a jam by stranding a leadoff double to keep the scoreboard empty. Even when he is dominating on the mound in cities like Atlanta, his life off the field is a complete war zone compared to his peers. Headlines shattered his world when shocking allegations of assault were brought against him by a woman, turning his career upside down. The fallout was nuclear, resulting in an active investigation, and Major League Baseball handing down a massive suspension of 2 full seasons. Let's rewind the tape to see where this roller coaster began. Trevor Andrew Bauer arrived on January 17, 1991 in North Hollywood, California. He wasn't just playing catch in the yard, he was studying legends like Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux, while his parents Warren and Kathy invested heavily in his future. They paid top dollar for private pitching coaches, fueling Trevor's obsession with the sport, which unfortunately made him a prime target for bullies. He took his talents to William S. Hart High School in Santa Clarita, where he developed a reputation for bizarre training rituals. We are talking about hurling weighted balls and launching rockets 360 feet across the field before the game even started. He claimed the extreme long toss was the secret to his arm strength, but socially it was like wearing a giant "kick me" sign that isolated him from the squad. However, the results were undeniable. As a junior, he was untouchable with a 12-0 record, a microscopic 0.79 ERA, and a 92-mile-per-hour heater. The locker room vibes were so toxic that Bauer chose to graduate early just to escape his teammates and get out of there. He headed to UCLA to dive into mechanical engineering and joined a rotation that featured another future superstar, Garrett Cole. That 2010 duo was absolutely lethal, powering the Bruins to a 22-game winning streak and punching their ticket to the College World Series. By his junior year, Bauer was a machine shattering school strikeout records and taking home the Golden Spikes Award as the nation's top pitcher. In the 2011 draft, the Diamondbacks snatched him up 3rd overall while he watched his rival Garrett Cole go number 1. Don't feel too bad for him though, he secured the bag with a 4-year contract worth $4,450,000 with Arizona. He tore through the minor league ranks like a buzzsaw, earning the title of the Diamondbacks' #1 prospect by 2012. After dominating the AAA Reno Aces with an 11-1 record, he finally got the call to the big show on June 27, 2012. Now we enter the professional arena, a 21-year-old right-handed phenom stepping onto the mound for the very first time. He starts every single inning with that terrifying long toss routine. His debut ended without a decision, but the potential was clear. He notched his first victory a month later, but the ride got bumpy. He was sent back down to AAA and eventually traded to the Cleveland Indians that December. Why the trade? It turns out he was incredibly unpopular in the clubhouse. The friction was so bad he actually dropped a rap track dissing his former team. 2013 was a nightmare. When the roster expanded to 40 men, Bauer was humiliatingly left off the list of call-ups. He went back to the lab to refine his command, and the following season saw him improve, though he finished with a 5-8 record. By 2015, he had cracked the opening day rotation, and in June of that year, he showed he could handle a bat as well. He smacked a clean single into center field, marking his first ever hit in the major leagues. He threw a complete game shortly after, but still struggled with control, leading the American League with 79 walks that season. 2016 was the breakout year. He tightened up his game significantly and posted a solid 12-8 record. Then came the bizarre drone incident. Scheduled to start a crucial playoff game, he sliced his pinky open while repairing a homemade drone. He tried to pitch with stitches, but blood started gushing everywhere, forcing him to wipe it on his jersey to hide it. It was a gruesome scene on the mound. The opposing manager alerted the umpires to the biohazard, and just like that, his night was over. He was pulled from the game, leaving a bloody trail behind him and putting the team in a tough spot. The team advanced anyway, but Bauer choked in the World Series, losing 2 games and posting a dismal 5.40 ERA. Cleveland lost a heartbreaker of a series in 7 games, and the pressure on Bauer began to mount significantly. The 2017 season started as a disaster, hitting rock bottom in July when he was yanked in the first inning. That failure was a turning point. He went on a tear, winning 10 of his final 14 starts with elite precision. He was so dominant that manager Terry Francona started him over the team's ace Corey Kluber in the division series. Despite the trust the Yankees took the series, Bauer went back to UCLA obsessed with inventing a devastating new slider. The science worked. He came out firing the next season, earning his first prestigious All-Star selection in the first half. He was hunting for the Cy Young Award until disaster struck a line drive smashed directly into his leg. The trainers rushed out as he hopped around in pain. It looked like a direct hit to the bone that could end his run. There was no walking that off. The injury derailed his season just as he was reaching the peak of his powers. He returned too late to save the postseason, and 2019 brought more injuries and one of the most infamous tantrums ever seen. The tension on the mound reached a boiling point when Trevor Bauer finally snapped, launching the baseball over the center field fence in a fit of pure frustration before exiting the game. That emotional outburst did not sit well with management, and the skipper was visibly furious. Consequently, just 3 days after the incident, he was packed up and shipped off to the Cincinnati Reds. Upon his departure, he expressed genuine gratitude, thanking the organization for protecting his family. But once he arrived in Ohio for the chaotic condensed season of 2020, he was unstoppable, leading the league with a microscopic 1.73 ERA in 11 starts. His dominance on the hill earned him the ball for the opening clash of the wild card series against the Atlanta Braves, a high-stakes duel where every pitch mattered. Bauer was electric, tossing 7 2/3 innings of shutout baseball, silencing the bats, though the Reds would eventually fall in a heartbreaking 13-inning marathon. Despite the team's early exit from the postseason, Bauer's individual brilliance was undeniable, culminating in him taking home the prestigious Cy Young Award before he decided to test the open market as a free agent. The Los Angeles Dodgers won the bidding war, bringing the ace home to California, where he quickly tried to integrate into the clubhouse culture, asking about team dinners while posting an 8-5 record with a stellar 2.59 ERA. He remained a fierce competitor between the white lines, famously facing off against Tapia in a gritty at-bat that showcased his intensity. Bauer froze him with a surgical cutter for the strikeout, and the two exchanged icy glares. But while he was dealing on the field, a massive legal storm was gathering on the horizon that July. We are going to rip the covers off that scandal shortly, but first let us fast forward to March of 2023, when Bauer inked a one-year pact with the Yokohama DNA Bay Stars. Even in the Nippon Professional Baseball League, his arm was lethal, and he was crowned the MVP of the All-Star Game after securing a 10-4 record during his Japanese exile. After proving he still had elite stuff, Bauer hit free agency again, but with major league doors closed, he announced he would be taking his talent south of the border to join the Diablos Rojos del Mexico. What happened next was nothing short of a video game performance as he completely dismantled the competition in the Mexican League. In only his second appearance on the mound, he was untouchable, tossing 6 innings and racking up 14 strikeouts, including one of the rarest feats in the sport. He threw an immaculate inning, 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 outs, proving that his arsenal of breaking balls and fastballs was simply too advanced for the hitters he was facing. Mic'd up for the broadcast, he was calling his shots, predicting swings, and mocking batters who could not catch up to the heat, showing the swagger that has always defined his career. With the confidence of a man who knows he is the best player on the field, he commanded the game, demanding attention with every pitch and famously shouting out his dominance. The accolades continued to pile up as he was selected for the Mexican League All-Star Game, earning the honor of starting pitcher for the South Division squad. Just 30 days later, Bauer etched his name into the history books by shattering the single-game strikeout record fanning 19 batters and finishing with a perfect 10-0 record as his team marched to a championship. Now let us open the vault and examine the financial war chest he has built, starting back in 2017 when he signed a one-year deal worth $3.55 million with the Indians. His value skyrocketed rapidly, with Cleveland doubling his pay the following season to $6.525 million, and then nearly doubling it again to $13 million the year after that. When he moved to Cincinnati, the cash flow increased, with the Reds cutting him a check for $17.5 million for the 2020 campaign. Betting on himself, Bauer turned down the Reds' qualifying offer of $18.9 million, a gamble that paid off massively when he hit free agency. The Dodgers backed up the Brinks truck, signing him to a staggering 3-year contract valued at $102 million, securing his status as one of the game's highest earners. Even during his stint in Japan, he pulled in $4 million, but the real kicker is that the Dodgers were still on the hook for the remainder of his $22.5 million salary in 2023. When you crunch the numbers, the Dodgers essentially paid Bauer $61 million for just 17 starts, meaning he earned a fortune for barely taking the mound. With that kind of disposable income, his garage is stacked. Back in 2017, he dropped $300,000 on a McLaren 650S to satisfy his need for speed. However, tragedy struck that supercar in a bizarre incident where a loose wheel from a semi-truck flew across 6 lanes of traffic and obliterated the vehicle while it was parked at a dealership. Undeterred, he upgraded his collection in 2021, spending $559,000 on a McLaren 765 LT and placing a pre-order for the Koenigsegg Gemera, a hypercar costing $1.7 million. He is also a connoisseur of fine timepieces, and after his Cy Young victory, he decided to reward the men behind the plate who helped him get there. He gifted his catcher Tucker Barnhart a Rolex Submariner worth $10,800, and he did not leave out his other backstop, Curt Casali. Casali received a stainless steel Submariner, while Bauer treated himself to the two-tone oyster steel and gold version, which retails for $16,150. To make the gifts truly special, he had all 3 luxury watches engraved with the word Cy Young to commemorate their dominant season. However, the luxury lifestyle came to a screeching halt in June of 2021 when Lindsey Hill brought forward severe allegations of sexual assault and domestic violence. She claimed that their encounters went far beyond consent, alleging he choked her into unconsciousness, but Bauer vehemently denied every accusation, maintaining that everything was consensual. While the Pasadena Police Department conducted a thorough investigation, the Los Angeles District Attorney ultimately decided not to press criminal charges, citing a lack of sufficient evidence to proceed. Bauer later released audio of a confrontation where he aggressively asked if she believed those who make up false claims should face jail time, to which she agreed. The drama intensified in 2022 when Darcy Adana Esamonu filed a civil lawsuit claiming sexual assault led to an unplanned pregnancy, further complicating his legal battles. According to Bauer, Esamonu demanded a payout of $3.6 million, essentially holding his reputation ransom in exchange for her silence. He stated that she fabricated a story about him forcing an abortion, and when he refused to pay the millions, she demanded she retaliated with a bogus sexual assault claim. Bauer admitted to paying roughly $8,000 for what he thought were legitimate medical expenses, only to find out the narrative was being manipulated. The truth began to surface when she confessed to a detective that she never had an abortion, but rather miscarried before even arriving at a clinic in a different state. Fast forward to 2026, and the tables have completely turned. The accuser is now the one facing charges for defrauding the pitcher. In a stunning reversal of fate, the woman who alleged assault is now looking at criminal consequences for her deception, vindicating Bauer in the eyes of many. Despite the legal victories, the cost was high. Major League Baseball suspended him for 324 games, leaving a permanent mark on his career record regardless of the courtroom outcomes. The question on everyone's mind is whether he will ink another Major League contract or if he is done for good. What we do know is that his bank account is looking healthy. As of the 2026 season, his total career earnings have reached $4,280,079. Thanks for tuning into this luxury lifestyle showdown.